joined by Chris after the 2-0 defeat. Just give me your overall summary of what you saw today.
Incredibly disappointing. I think that was just completely nowhere near the level that we were expecting. The execution of the game plan was nowhere near what we were expecting. It was a huge game today. Disappointing thing for me most of all is I think we were outworked, we were outfought. And those are things that you don't need to be a good footballer. If you've just got fitness, work rate, desire, and a mouth to speak, you don't need skill for that. We were massively lacking in that area. Very disappointing. I have to say that caught me by surprise. I think we prepped right. I think we did all the right things. Maybe we have to look at that, and I'll have to have a look at sort of where perhaps the preparation in the week wasn't right. Did we miss anything? Are there things that we need to look at wider than sort of the technical detail? But yeah, incredibly disappointing. Big opportunity to get some points on the board against a rival. It's basically a 6-pointer. So that cuts us adrift a little bit more. Just makes everything that little bit more difficult now. And we've got a very short space of time of which to find a reaction and kind of go again. So that's all we're going to have to do. I've asked the girls to have a think as a group as to what are they going to be, what can they do to kind of gel quicker, to kind of get through some of these teething issues, whatever it is. But in terms of a performance, that was miles off the expectations, miles off of what we were asking, and miles off of what they can do as well. So yeah, really disappointing afternoon.
I think in the week, obviously, we gave them all everything that they needed to come here and sort of put the plan together.
Yep.
And the 2 goals were just boiled down to 2 mistakes. Is that the more disappointing end of it on our side of it?
You can make mistakes in football. It's and people should be brave enough and feel comfortable enough that they can make a mistake and they're not going to get vilified for it. But I think the common theme there is if the communication was better, it helps with decision making. And I think where the mistakes have come is from taking too long or making the wrong decision. But it comes from no one talking. And ultimately it's just come from high energy pressing. And we've kind of taken too long. And from the first minute we were taking too long today, taking too long to move the ball, taking too long to get their heads up, taking too long to identify a bit of space that we can move into or ping the ball around. I think it just summed up the problems with today. The goals that we've conceded were just systemic of the whole 90 minutes, to be honest. But look, it's ultimately on the manager. I'll take it on the chin. We've got to protect the players to a point, but the ask is that this doesn't get repeated, and we need to figure out quickly as a group how to make sure that doesn't happen.
And you mentioned you've only got a short space of time now to sort of turn it around. You've got another really, really important game next week, so I think it's really important that we have to go there and sort of have a reaction if anything like that. I think we're going to have to address this performance early on Tuesday when we get together as a group. We can't just simply ignore it and focus on the next one, but we are going to need to quickly move on because, like you say, it's another huge game and it's just doubled in importance now. It is a must-win, and we have to make sure that we don't repeat what we've done here today, because if we do, we're basically cut off, and it's going to be a long way back. So yeah, it's a huge game. We're going to have to really sort of knuckle down and prep. Again, I think Leek, from what I've seen, they're physical, they're direct. A lot of the things that Hednesford were today, and if we do the same, we'll get the same outcomes. We've got to do something different, that'll be what we're focusing on this week to make sure that it happens.